Coming to you from the Black Swan Media Studios, this is Fireside Chats, talking to the real difference makers in the world. Now, here is your host, John Crump.
Yes, I already see it is Crumpy After Dark, which, we're going later tonight and tomorrow so we can hit that goal of 200 episodes by Saturday, 10 o'clock Saturday. We have a special 200th episode of Fireside Chats. It's been a wild and crazy ride. We are brought to you by Tusk. Tusk is the only cryptocurrency in the market focusing specifically on the gun world.
Proudly sponsored by TUSC, the only cryptocurrency designed with the firearms market in mind, with 3-second processing times. It's the fastest cryptocurrency on the planet. With lower transaction fees than traditional credit cards. It's perfect for your e-commerce needs. For gun guys, by gun guys. Visit TUSC.network for more information and join the digital revolution.
And also, we are also sponsored by my side project, which is Black Swan Tactical.
Black Swan Tactical, your number one source for 2A streetwear. With shirts, mugs, hats, patches, flags, and more. There's always something to help you rep the 2A community. All proceeds go back into our projects. Viewers and listeners can take an additional 10% off with code CRUMPY. Unapologetically pro-gun, pro-liberty, and pro-freedom gear for the front lines of the culture war.
All right. With that said, I want to jump into our guests really quick. So I know it's late for all you guys out there, especially if you usually watch me on our regular time. But yeah, like I said, we're going to hit that 200th episode this weekend. But let me bring on my guest. He's actually a guy that lives kind of close to me. And I've known members of his family for like a long time, really. He goes by the name Dark, and he's from one of the fastest growing YouTube channels on the planet, Dark Light Dugan. What is up?
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me on, dude.
Thanks for coming on, man. Yeah, I wanted to make some time for you, so we went late. So I appreciate everyone who's going to show up out there.
Yeah, I already see a lot of Dark Light Dugan guys jumping in, so thank you.
Yeah, you have the late night crew, I think.
Yeah, we usually so our schedule is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 9:30 to 2 to 3 hour streams sometimes.
Yeah, that's a little bit later than my guys, but we do share some people.
Yeah, we do for sure. I see that. What's up, Chris? Man Against the Masses. Glowy Gang. Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You're Dark, and there's another guy named Light, and like a third guy named Dugan, right?
Yeah.
How did your podcast come about, or your live stream?
It's an interesting story. And it's funny because you had said, like, one of the fastest growing channels. We hit 1,000 subs in like 40 days. And a lot of that credit is due to Dugan Ashley, formerly of Carnicon. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Of course.
Okay, cool. Just, double checking. But essentially, about a year and some change ago, let's say January 2020, I started interacting with Dugan Ashley upon his return to the internet, and I was a mod for him, kind of helping him in his YouTube live streams and Discord, and just started kind of getting, I don't want to say like a relationship because that seems weird, but basically myself him and another guy, Light, started Dark Light Dugan as a podcast, and pretty quickly became syndicated across like all major Spotify, Apple, like all that stuff. And we had said let's just stream this, and since December 22nd, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah. Do you still broadcast the podcast? Because what I do is I do a lot of the podcast stuff as well. Like this goes up as a podcast the next day, and we also broadcast to a bunch of different places, not only YouTube but also Facebook and Twitch and D Live and
Nice.
Periscope and stuff like that. Or are you specifically just on YouTube right now?
So right now, like the intention was to do this on YouTube, rip the audio, and then post that on our podcast. And we just had never done it. So good intentions, no action behind it.
Yeah, I have a Rodecaster, a Rodecaster Pro.
Nice.
So I just hit a button, records everything. Then at the end, they hit a button and it's like exports.
Wow. Yeah, that could make things easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it also controls like almost everything. Yeah. So how'd you get the name Dark?
It's a couple things. There was an element to the podcast of like, where the dark and the light meet is contrast, right? And so much of life is about perception, and we kind of focus on. You'd have to, come to the channel and check it out to learn a little bit more about that. But the other element is dark and light. Him and I are like the balance of, positivity and negativity. Though a lot of people say, "Man, Dark, you're super positive for the guy that's supposed to be, the dark side." But it's just a name. I don't know.
Yeah. You also keep your identity, like Dark is like your secret identity. Or actually, I guess your real life is your secret identity, but you try to keep like your name unknown and stuff like that. That's why I don't want to say too much.
Yeah. Well, no, it's cool. I mean, what you said so far is totally fine. Because we are Dark doesn't sleep. I don't sleep. Sleep is overrated. I think it's good to have separation, and there's always going to be some crazies on the internet. So I like that level of anonymity is good.
Yeah, I tried when I first started podcasting and stuff like that, like 5 years ago. I did an audio only podcast for like a long time, and I tried to keep my identity secret, but then was doxxed, and I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, at some point, that's likely to happen. There was, I don't want to say when, but there was one point where someone came into a platform where I was on, and I won't say if it was my channel or another channel, because I go on live with like CRS, with people all over the place, and somebody jumped in the chat and just posted my full name and then didn't say another word. I was like, oh, okay. That's funny. So a lot of people, there's this whole thing that Dark is a Fed, like I'm like the ATF, or I'm a federal agent, and I'm doing this to honeypot people and all this crazy stuff. And it's funny because you're an actual like real human being that knows me and my family. So
yeah, I've known your brother. I've known your brother for like a long time. I went to school with your brother.
Yeah. Crazy small world, man. And how long have you been with the GOA?
3-4 years.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I know I didn't know if he knew how much you were involved with the, firearm owners. I hate to call it the 2A community, right? Because it's like everyone should own a gun, but
I've been with or in the 2A community for a long time. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It just I I was doing so much. They were like, "Well, why don't you just become our state director since you're already doing all this stuff anyway?"
That's awesome.
I was like, "All right."
Dude, you do a lot, man. You and a lot of the people that you know I'm like looking to align with are people that you know and work with. We've been super blessed on our channel to have like Johnny B, James Reeves, Brandon Herrera, like the people that are likely on your call list when big info dumps come out. So it's crazy to be like probably 10 miles from each other, not even, and have the same kind of contacts all over the country. It's kind of bizarre because I don't think we've actually ever met in person.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. Maybe I saw you when you were a little kid.
Probably. Swamp Dog Armory says always fighting tyrants. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to so we know how you guys met and everything else like that and how it got started, but what is your show about?
Yeah. So, funny thing, I'll throw out a fun fact first, because a lot of people are like, oh, you and Dugan and Light are like, like besties, right? Like you guys are, must be best friends or whatever. We've actually never met in person ever. And we've been, podcasting for, I guess, since like August of last year. And we were streaming on YouTube since, like I said, December 22nd. And we've never met in person. So, fun fact. Now, aside from that, so our channel is number one about truth. Like we want to get a message out, a message of the truth. And I'll get back to what I mean by that. Our channel is about teaching self-sustainability. Oh, 2A EDU. What's up, brother? And you can stop me at any point.
Thank you, 2A EDU, for the super chat. 2A EDU has an incredible channel. It's like one of the smartest guys in the 2A space. And I'm not saying that just to like be nice. He is actually, if you watch his live streams on Friday, he knows his stuff and he knows his constitutional history, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, man. You got to keep one of these handy. Yeah.
Got one right back here. Actually, right there.
Nice. Is that a 1851 over there, or a clone?
It's a. I have the Army and I have the Navy.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got a 1851 Colt Navy hanging up there.
Yeah.
Well, oh, Bacon. What's up, brother? That's one of my.
Another super chat, the 223. We always love that.
Yeah. Thanks, Bacon. Appreciate you, brother. So yeah, essentially what we want to do is we want to teach people how to become as self-sufficient as possible. It's kind of a butt puckering process. I don't know. I'll do my best not to curse. Butt puckering process when you realize that your water, though it's available to you, is not controlled by you. Your food, though it's available to you, is not controlled by you. Even shelter and security and all these things. We're given the illusion of freedom and security by convenience, mostly in this life of consumerism. So what we do is we teach people how to become as self-sustainable as possible. And that's been our message the entire time.
Yeah, I have a friend that's all about self-sustainable and being self-sustainable and stuff like that. He's a crazy Russian guy that lives near us, to the west of us.
Okay.
West of us. Up on mountain near Mount Weather, kind of.
Oh wow.
And he came over during communism. He like defected, and he remembers the bread lines and everything else. So basically, he built like underground shelters on his property. And he has a hidden like farm basically, where he has woods and he planted these crops in the woods so you can't see them.
Wow, that's incredible.
But it's actually food, so he goes in the woods and he can basically live off the land. And he picked crops that like blend in.
Dude, that's epic right there. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. And that's it kind of exactly what we have a couple, purposes for the message, right? Because so many people, I actually had someone in, my professional life say, "Oh, you do stuff on YouTube? Like, what do you do?" And I kind of, told her the same thing. And she said, "Oh, like a doomsday prepper." It's like, well, no, that gives it a bad name. I'm talking about just living, just having food and water and security and shelter that are available to you that you control. Because it's, though I'm not running around with a sign on saying the end is nigh, right? Like it is a possibility that one day you could flip a switch and the lights don't come on, or you open up your tap and water doesn't come out, or you pull up your cell phone and there's a big X over your signal. And we want to give people every single chance they have to be as self-sustainable as possible. And we've had people from, God, I mean, everything from, builders. We have a series called Building Freedom, where we, teach how to build items of security, whether it be defensive cutlery, forging like knives, blades, axes, swords. We got bladesmiths. Shout out to Matt Telhart if he's in here. Excellent bladesmith. But beekeepers, right? Like, Light grows cranberry hibiscus, like edible stuff, like things you would never think of. What's up, Kimball?
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. My media company is called Black Swan Media, and Black Swan is like a Black Swan event. It's something that you don't see coming and whatnot, and you never know when one of those is going to happen. I have a friend who I want to hook you up with because he down in the Richmond area, but he is I wouldn't call him a survivalist. I would call him like a mountain man type guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's like a Sigma 6 survival instructor type guy.
Wow.
So like 2 weeks out of the year, he'll go out into the woods, like in Shenandoah National Park, and bring a knife and just like no like sleeping bags, no tents or anything.
And for 2 weeks, he's out there.
Yeah.
Dude, that's money.
I was like, that must suck. He's like, no, it's the greatest thing in the world.
How freeing would that be to just have the ability, like the skills and ability? Because that's the thing that people over time we're kind of taking for granted, right? Like we're given the ability and the convenience to hop online and order our groceries, right? Or just drive to the gas station, right? Like we're not looking at these types of things as a privilege currently. It's just they exist. And things that are typically overlooked, because people always think of this as like, oh, it's doomsday preppers, and it kind of has a dark cloud over it. It's just self-growth and development and becoming a better person that you can always count on yourself for you and your family, but also like developing your own skills, like can you like pick locks? Can you, are you physically fit? Are you, all sorts of things, speaking other languages, growing, edible food, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Build a fire.
A lot of people wouldn't be able to start a fire.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So that's kind of been like our main focus. And, over the first couple months, Dugan had a big family event. We'll say that drew him back to exclusively spend time with his family. So, we're respecting that, and it's kind of Light and I carrying the torch, and then Light had some family stuff come up, so I'm still keeping to the schedule no matter what. We're never going to give up the channel.
Yeah. Why did Dugan leave in the first place?
First place
YouTube.
meaning like
No, YouTube originally when he stopped making YouTube videos.
So when Carnicon was, which if he just left it up, like probably would have been the largest firearm platform, like on or channel on YouTube ever. It was way ahead of its time. But he felt like the court gesture. He felt like while the world was falling to pieces, he was on YouTube making funny videos that were, like a release for people, to watch, and it was fun and funny. But after that moment and all the time, energy, money, and input that he and others put into it, the world was still heading in a direction that he didn't like, and he just felt like he couldn't do it anymore. And a lot of people around him got kind of greedy with the just the possibility of income, because this was way before the adpocalypse. And he said, okay, I'm gonna shut down the channel then, and just literally deleted everything. And a lot of people think that it has to do with his diagnosis of MS, and I'm only sharing all these things because I know that like they're out in the public mostly, and he would share them, and he wouldn't have a problem with me sharing them if he were here. So I guess a lot of people think that his diagnosis of multiple sclerosis had to do with him quitting Carnicon, but it was a deliberate move just because he didn't want to continue doing it. He just wanted to focus on family, and later on when he came back, I think he wanted to send out a different message.
I gotcha. Yeah, because your show is so much different than what his old stuff used to be.
Mm-hmm. Very, very. Although at times we would love nothing more. We even would get together and talk and joke and fantasize about Carnicon V 2.0, but we obviously nothing ever came to fruition or anything. We were honestly toying with the idea of doing the same thing, putting out some episodes, but instead of focusing on firearms, focusing on energetics, but we didn't take that route.
Yeah. Man Against the Master says 21 minutes into it and he finally gets a notification. Some reason that happens a lot with my channel.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Not trying to be conspiratorial or anything, but I just don't know why. But yeah, it's usually 20-25 minutes. You'll see a bump in people.
It's
because
crazy.
some reason. That's why I try to keep to a Pacific schedule.
Yeah, and that's it's funny. So I went and I shared this on my YouTube channel. I shared it in our Discord. I shared it, in other places. So a lot of these people had already come here at 10, and then they're seeing notifications come, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes later. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I know this is actually the third YouTube channel I started. I have 4 YouTube channels. I've had 4 YouTube channels. I have 2 active right now. The other 2 were killed by YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the algorithm, figuring how the algorithm worked and stuff like that, and sharing it.
Yeah.
Breaking down the actual math from experimentations and stuff like that. So YouTube didn't really.
That's
that.
How to Kill Skynet.
Yeah, they didn't really like that, so they killed my channels
Yeah,
for putting out dangerous information.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no warnings, no strikes, just boop, dead.
Really?
Yeah, then I started another channel, boop, dead again. And
I
then
would've
I did
thought-
waited like a year and started just starting the new ones. But yeah,
That's crazy. I would have thought that at least like they would have said this video contains 3 strikes. Goodbye.
no, they just killed it
That's
for being a
nuts.
dangerous person,
That's nuts. How
giving
long
away
has
their
this channel
secrets.
been alive?
What's that?
How long have you had this channel?
I've had this channel for about a year now, a little bit over a year.
Okay, cool.
A year and 4 months. And my other channel, which is actually my bigger channel, I started using that about a month ago.
Nice. Yeah, that's man, you get a lot of good stuff out into the community, and you know, I look at some of the people that I watch, like, and I think it's interesting because you kind of evolve as a content creator. Like, you start to consume less content when you're, putting out or streaming or, whatever it is you do.
Or
'Cause
different content.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the people that I watch that I, kind of fanboy over, like, Brandon Herrera, like having him on was incredible. But like Jared with Guns and Gadgets, like, y'all are like super tight. Like Johnny B, y'all are super tight. Like those people that like we all watch, like everyone, if you go down the line and chat, they at least know of, if not, I don't know. I just think that's really cool, man. That's you're a big influencer in the community.
Yeah, Jared is a really cool guy. I really like Jared a lot. He is an incredibly genuine person.
Yeah,
The way he is on his YouTube channel is how he is in real life.
I love that about like you can just tell he's a genuine person.
Yeah, there's certain people that I've met that are totally different behind the scenes.
Yeah,
And then there's other people that are like, yep. See, people coming in now. Notification. Told you.
What's funny, you know, you know who, and God bless his soul. You know who I met that was just, and it's not like, trust me, it's okay to say this. You know who I met that I was shocked that wasn't as kind as I thought they would be was Arlie Ermy. I thought that he would be like the guy from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
wasn't too kind in that movie.
Say again.
He wasn't too kind in that movie.
Yeah, but like, I guess I had this like idea of him. Like, I used to watch all those shows that he would be on like the Outdoor Channel, and he was just like, I just said not too kind to be, quaint. He was kind of a
Yeah.
dick. But I was just kind of surprised by that. But I met Matt Carricker at SHOT Show. He was pretty much, like you see him. I met a bunch of people that generally are pretty close to what you see, but there are a lot of people out there that are just completely just inauthentic, and it's not the way to market yourself or even grow a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that is true. But there are certain people out there that put on an act,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really disingenuous. And there's a lot of other people that will stab you in the back. I come from the writing world, and the writing world is totally different. It's a lot more friendly, I would say, to each other.
People have more integrity.
Yeah, well, I don't know if what you call it. Maybe integrity. Maybe it's not as cutthroat.
Yeah, firearm. I think not even necessarily just like the firearm world. I think the media world, like the YouTube firearm community, the like when those two kind of blend together, um, I think that I don't know. I mean, we could start calling them out if you want. I'm just kidding. No, I
No.
won't call anyone out by name, but yeah, I just think that when money and gain become the thing, yeah, anyone will stab you in the back.
Yeah, which is kind of bad.
Yeah, but that part of the community is not going to live forever, right? Like eventually, you know, you can only feed off of your own people for so long, and there's going to be a new generation of people, you know, channels like us that are focused on truth and just being good people, and you know, it'll balance out, I'm sure.
Uh, Kimball is talking about the History Channel back in the day and how that used to be the best. I miss those days
Yeah,
when it was actually about history.
yeah, my how things have changed. I miss when like public school was about learning.
Yeah, I don't have my kids in public school. I
Yeah,
don't know if public school is ever about learning since we've been around, at least.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely, I think, in the last decade specifically, is taken more of an aggressive turn. But yeah, I think it was programming.
Especially in Loudoun County. I have no
Dude,
idea what happened there.
I know, man, I know. Loudon, Fairfax, like, yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, there was a teacher in Loudoun County where I went to school at, and I went to school with your brother and stuff like that. And there's a high school in my local town that the teacher had the kids rewrite the Second Amendment because basically she said the Second Amendment isn't about the individual right to own a firearm. And one of the
Mm,
kids brought up, and this is all recorded, one of the kids brought up Heller. And she was like, well, the Supreme Court was wrong.
what? This was recorded?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was at Freedom High School.
Dude, wow. What? Freedom High School.
Yeah.
It's literally called Freedom. That's
Exactly.
crazy. Dark, do you have any interest in do-it-yourself simple tool gunsmithing skill videos for repair and maintenance?
Well,
Um,
you did do one last night.
yeah, I guess that's true. And that was kind of like my first one. I did it just to be a rebel because I was like, I'm gonna build out an 80% like on stream and just see how long it takes to get cooked. Because it was one of the new Lone Wolf ones, and I haven't done it before. It was completely different. A traditional P80 I could buzz out in a half an hour, but this took a little bit longer.
What
Uh,
was the difference?
it's just different components to cut out. You as opposed to pushing the rail system in, or sometimes thwacking it with a hammer in. You actually have to clean out the entire channel, and then the rail systems are like small squares, like puzzle pieces that bend out, and you put them in a recess in the frame, and then you put a bunch of it's like polymer adhesive. So this is like literally liquid polymer, and you douse it all in there, and then you put the rail in, and then you push like almost like a puzzle piece in over it, and then you clamp it in to make sure it sits really tight. And it's just different, but couldn't use my Dremel because that only runs at 35,000 RPM. And so it's like zero or crackhead speed. And I literally did the one thing that I tell people not to do, is I used a drill. And they came out clean. The holes came out beautiful. Yeah, so it was cool. It was just different.
Yeah, I recently did a JSD, their SIG P320 kit.
Oh, how did that go?
I haven't installed the trigger yet because the triggers are back ordered,
Okay.
but I should be installing the triggers. But with that one, you really need a drill press.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's hard to drill through steel with handheld.
yeah, you're not gonna do it with the handheld, but with the drill press, yeah, you can do it. So I used the drill press. It went pretty easy. You also had to bend the rail section as well.
That's
But
right. That's
you have
right.
a little insert where you bang it, you actually hammer it in. It's like a solid steel block that bends the rails down, and then
Nice.
you have to cut the steel off. It's a lot more intense than a P80. Not as
Yes.
easy as a P80.
Yeah. I mean, that's you said you have done a P80 before?
Yeah, I've done several.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the first one I did probably took a few hours as well. And then like after, doing several, tragically, fortunately, I lost all of them. But it's a long story. I was boating. Um, but no, I think that gets more simple. But looking at like the 1911 80 percenters, the aluminum AR 80s, the uh, 320 80 percenters, those are a lot more work. Like not just anyone can just like buzz them out like that. And I I give it to you. Props for knocking that out, man. Those are not simple.
Yeah, I mean, they're not simple, but at the end, you can't tell the difference between um or like a regular 320 and the JSD because they fit in the regular 320 frames.
Yeah, dude, that's I was really tempted to do one. I'm just a Glock guy, and I have this thing crammed in my head by some other people that all of you guys that are here from my channel in the chat that know Handsome Joe. We did a video on the Second Amendment. It's like a 3-hour video on. I mean, and we go really deep on it, and part of it was in your own collection having the armory concept, and of course a lot of us have guns like ranging in all different calibers and designs. But yeah, I'm mostly a Glock guy, and that's mostly because I'm stubborn.
Yeah, I'm mostly a Glock guy too.
Yeah,
Um, but JSD is coming up with a really cool Glock thing I'm gonna get to play with in a couple weeks here.
really,
Yeah, a binary trigger.
dude. I have been waiting for someone to do a binary Glock trigger forever. I have one in my Scorpion and one in my LWRC, and those things are just tits, man. I love them. So can you talk about it at all?
Yeah, it's just I'm not exactly sure how it works. Jordan, who owns JSD, was on the show, and he was talking about bringing it down to the IV 88 shoot, um, and for so I can try it out. And I was like, oh hell yeah,
Kimball, they actually did. CCI came out with an aluminum Glock lower years ago. That was back when I used to work in the firearm industry, and people hated them when they were available, and then the moment they were unavailable, everyone went crazy over them.
that is true.
Yeah,
That is definitely true.
but I would absolutely rock at least one binary trigger in one of my Glocks. I would have to.
2A EDU, yeah, you can try out the binary Glock. I'm sure I can arrange that. Yeah. So yeah. So you're definitely gonna get a chance to play with that. Yeah, I can't wait to that. When you did the binary trigger in your Scorpion, 'cause I did a binary trigger on my Scorpion. I'm not sure what generation Scorpion that you had. Did you have to drill out the trigger pack?
I did not. Luckily, I thought I was going to have to, because I think I have one that was just at this odd point between Gen 1 and Gen 2 where they started to transition to Gen 2, and I just luckily didn't have to drill that piece out. Did you have to?
Yeah, it was simple.
Oh, okay. I just envisioned it being so difficult.
No,
But,
it's just I put the drill bit on there, stuck it in there, hit it once, it broke the head off, it came right out. I thought it was going to be this like long process, and it took literally under 15 seconds.
Most people, when it comes to their abilities, like even like last night, right? Like doing something that you've never like done before is, I don't know. When it comes to hand tools and stuff like that, though, like, come on, like people complain about the most simple things. But then again, like, okay, yes, I am going to do a wooden Glock lower. We'll get there one day. I just don't know when I'll be able to do that.
A wooden Glock lower.
Yeah.
I have seen the wood. AR lower though.
I have seen that.
Thank you to EDU again, man. This is awesome.
Thanks,
yeah,
dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, the wooden Glock, the wooden AR lower is really interesting.
Yeah, that looks super unique. Every single one, imagine this, every single one is different. But if you take a look and do a search one day on wooden Glock lowers, and there's one without a trigger guard. I think they tried to do a trigger guard, and they were just like, all right, this is just a weak point, and they just yank. So it's like like one of the old school Derringers.
Yeah. Another thing that JSD is coming out with that you might like is a 80% Scorpion.
Nice. That I'm interested in that, even though I have one, which by the way, that's probably one of my favorite sub guns is the Scorpion. Even next to, like, you guys are going to hate this in chat, even next to an MP5, that Scorpion is just, it's remarkable.
I kind of agree with you on that.
Okay.
I used to be a big, I am an HK fanboy type person, but
when did you fall off though?
What's that?
When did you fall off? There was a point that you fell off the HK wagon.
I'm still on it, actually.
But they're likely older HKs, right?
I love the VP9.
Okay, that's fair.
I love the VP9. I love I love the triggers on them, and they're nice. But I think the MP5 is a little bit overrated.
Yeah, I do see value in the MP5K, just in the size and capability, but knowing that you can have a very similar firepower in a Glock 26 with a 33 round mag, like you start getting into other territory, right? Like now it's not a sub gun, I get it, but you just got to think of like functionality. From a functionality standpoint, the MP5K is sick. If I don't currently own an MP5. If I did, I would own like the Die Hard Bruce Willis, like, probably the full size MP5. I don't know. Maybe I would get a K. There's something special about like just the PDW kind of thing. I am addicted to bad guy guns, like the firearms that you would typically see bad guys have in a movie. Those are the ones that I love. Small, folding, stocks, like that. That's my thing.
Well, one of my friends named Matt, and if you ever want to go shooting with us, let me know. He's an SOT.
Nice.
And he has a MP5 with the briefcase.
Dude, someone just put that in chat. I've actually gotten to handle one before, but I was not able to fire it.
Well, we can change that.
That would be sick. I would love to do that.
Yeah, we can change that. Yeah, you know, Glock. One of Glock's marketing things back in the 80s was, you know, when the whole Die Hard and, you know, Glock 7 came out. Like Smith and Wesson wouldn't let their guns be used in the hands of bad guys.
Really?
Yeah, and they would also charge movie companies all this money. And Glock, there's a good book about Glock, and Glock was like, well, let's think about this. The American that basically ran Glock over here, he was like, the bad guys usually have the better weapons because the good guys have to overcome it. So he's like, you know what? It's like, you want to use our guns? We'll let you use them for free.
Nice.
And you can put them in any bad guy's hands you want. And apparently that really worked.
Oh, yeah.
Because after Die Hard 2, which was at Dulles Airport,
yeah,
everyone went out to buy Glock 7s, even though there wasn't a Glock 7, but
yeah, because it can go through. Don't they say in the movie that it can go through a metal detector?
Yeah, it's a porcelain gun or ceramic gun that can go through a metal detector without setting them off. Blah blah blah, and that's the reason why we got the Undetectable Firearms Act, was specifically because of Die Hard 2.
God, like, guys, come on. Even if that were true, like, I can't put a stripped lower through, a TSA check. Now, granted, this was pre, 911, right? So it's different. I don't even want to, call it what it was, but people were not very well educated with what it was, because it was so unrealistic to have what they thought was a plastic. People called it ceramic, like you said. They were just completely uneducated about what it actually was.
Yeah, everyone's quoting it out there. Yeah, and it costs more than you make in 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of interesting, man, how that movie literally got them to pass legislation, and no one stood up and said, hey, you guys are dumb. This isn't really what happened.
I am just blown away at this stuff. Like, every now and then you'll hear it, like in other movies too. Space Texan, I also own a 43X, and I love it. And Glock's 7th patent was actually a shower curtain ring. Interesting.
Yeah, they used to make shower curtains and bayonets.
Nice. I have a box of boxes here, and one of them is the old Gen 2 Tupperware. I love Gen 2s.
Yeah, so do I. Gen 2s, Gen 1s are awesome.
Did you ever get a chance to see the P80, the reproduction of the first generation 17?
Yeah, I did. It was close.
Yeah. I was really interested in that, but my buddy who worked at a shop, the same shop that I used to work at, which I'm not going to say only because it would totally dox me, but he carried one that he hit 100,000 rounds in, and had only cleaned it by putting it through the dishwasher. And you probably know who the guy is. Honestly, afterwards we'll talk, and I'll see if you know him. If you do, you'll be like, oh yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah. I really like those Glocks. I love the Gen 1 Glocks. They're really, really hard to find right now, though.
Yeah, and they're usually over $1,000. Like, it's crazy. But really quickly on the 43X, so that's my current EDC, and it is vital. Like, I still carry the 2 10-rounders like on the side. If you are going to carry a 43X, definitely get the Shield S15 magazines, because it gives you the performance of a Glock 19 and something that's, considerably smaller, 15+1 in a small, tiny package. It's awesome. I mean, most people know about them at this point, but the Shield Arms S15 magazines, best Glock accessory ever for the 43X.
Yeah, the 43X. I just carry a regular Glock 43 right now, but I'm thinking about upgrading to a 43X.
Dude, they're money, man. If you ever want to shoot mine, you're more than welcome to.
I mean, I've shot them.
What's your, like, if you open up your safe or safes or your gun room or whatever, what's your, like, baby?
A handgun, a rifle. What do you want to talk about?
Anything. Let's talk about long guns.
Long guns. I have a 410 Henry side loader that I absolutely love. I have that. That's one of my favorite long guns. And I have my long range gun, my 700, my Remington 700 with that's in a MDX MDT chassis.
Nice. What caliber?
That's 300 Win Mag.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I love my Henry. I love lever action guns. I'm a big lever action guy, and I do have a Sharps AR that was a little bit custom done for me.
Nice.
It's the Hellbreaker lore with the side charging AR.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then it has a Franklin Armory binary trigger in it as well.
Is it what are the Sharps 2245 or whatever the?
No, Sharps Brothers, John Sharps.
Oh, okay. So
he does really cool custom guns. Well, not really
it's in 5.56.
Yeah, it's in 5.56.
Nice.
I'll show you. Sharp Bros. Let me bring this up.
How could you carry the 92 FS over the 43X? I agree the 92 FS is still a remarkable gun, but man, the same capability in a gun, half the size and half the weight.
Yeah. This is the Hellbreaker right here. I'll throw it up on the screen.
Yeah, you guys in chat, I would love to hear what your what your baby long gun is too.
So it's built off that.
Oh, that's dope. It's like the bomber.
Yeah, it's what it's designed after.
That's really cool.
John Sharps has a very interesting history. He makes these like really high-end guns now with all these unique designs. And he actually hold on. Interesting. That's awesome. That's my friend's wife.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Yeah. So he makes these high-end firearms that are really unique, and he like designed the old Xbox.
The old Xbox?
Yeah, like the Microsoft Xbox.
Really?
Yeah. Now he makes all these like badass guns.
My EDC is a 249.
Yeah.
Somebody else, hold on. Gilboa Snake. Yeah, 92A1 is money. So Chrome, one of the people from our community, says, I love the Sharps Bros lowers. I have the Jack.
The Jack is cool. It's like a pirate type thing.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. I'd have to say my baby long gun, it's tough. So I built a Oh, that's cool. That's dope. Yeah, I have seen those lowers. At first, I kind of, gave them crap because it's like, oh, it's, just a fancy magwell, and then I'm like, wow, that's actually like really well done.
Yeah, it's all billet too.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I put together, and I've told this story on stream and with my people before, but I had a friend that was moving, and he was accidentally sent a second LWRC lower and didn't have to pay for it. And he just came in, did the paperwork, and left with his lower. And then the next day, or no, like a week later, they called him like, "Hey, your lower's in," and he's like, "Okay." Oh, that's sick.
He
450.
does. I've seen it. It looks identical to a Nerf gun.
Nice. That's really cool. So basically, they called him again, either LWRC or whomever goofed up, and then the gun shop called him like, "Hey, your lower's in," and he's like, "Okay," and he went to the shop, did the 4473, left for the second one, and he was moving and he needed cash, so I bought it. This is before Virginia took the direction that it did, when private sales were legal, but I took that LWRC lower and a bunch of BCM and 10.3-inch Colt barrel and just like some pretty decent stuff, and put together this like just incredible. I can't call it a Mark 18, but it's Mark 18 based 10.3-inch 5.56 binary trigger LWRC lower. It's sick, man. That's probably my baby, and I run an AAC SDN6 suppressor on it.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
That is very nice. One of the things that I know is you should never meet your heroes, because I wanted a Kimber for the longest time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got it, and I wasn't impressed at all.
Me either. Well, tell me about your experience with Kimber.
It was just the fitting wasn't exactly the way I wanted it. The trigger on my Rock Island was actually better than what was on the Kimber.
Oh,
I was just like, it's not as high end as they claim to be.
was it like a custom 2 or?
Yeah, it was a custom 2.
So I got a custom 2 as well, or a TLE. I think it was a custom 2, and I have never slapped more stovepipes out of a gun in my life than when I had that 1911. So I gave up on 1911s after that. I preferred my Springfield mil-spec over that. Not to just bash Kimber, because they do make good guns. I just think if you're gonna go Kimber, you're gonna have to go like super, like their high end stuff.
Yeah. And my favorite handgun is, I have a Glock 17, Gen 3 Glock 17, that has a custom slide, one of a kind custom slide, with a Overwatch precision trigger, a Blacklist barrel, and also the frame is also all customized as well, to fit my hand specifically.
Nice.
And it's like a Venom red dot on the top as well.
That's cool. That's really unique. That's one thing that I have not adopted. Like
The red dots.
Red dots on pistols.
Yeah.
I'm open to it, but honestly, I want to pick up like a Swamp Fox. What do you call it? Like a Kingslayer or a Liberty or something like that. They just look super cool, and they fit the RMR footprint. And I do have a couple guns that are cut for it.
Yeah, almost everything fits the RMR
Yeah,
footprint right now.
yeah,
It's basically the standard, which is kind of cool. Yeah, Swamp Fox optics are pretty nice.
yeah. Especially for the price, man. That's hard to, you know.
Yeah, I mean they make high quality stuff at a reasonable price, which is awesome. Yeah, I hit up a Swamp Dog Armory. He can get you a discount from those guys.
Nice.
He knows them.
Yeah, I actually looking at his name made me think of Swamp Fox. That's funny.
Yeah, he did a custom one for my niece before she passed away to raise money. He did a custom Mandalorian bullpup rifle
Wow.
that he designed and built, and it was badass.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that too, man.
Yeah, it's it's better. She's not in pain anymore, so yeah.
Yeah. And I was kind of torn, like when I saw you pop in, one of the first things I wanted to ask was that, and then I was like, oh, I'm not gonna ask on stream. And then it's like, you know what? You know,
You're like, whoops.
yeah, felt bad about that.
Don't feel bad, man. You didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but I don't know what if you could have one firearm, any era, any firearm whatsoever, what would it be?
Hmm. Oh man. So can I throw one? I'll answer that and throw one more thing in there because I have a regret
Sure.
of not purchasing something. I had an opportunity at the shop I worked at in Virginia. In my hands, a transferable, pre-86 transferable Ruger AC 5.56, and it was like 12 grand, and I had the money, and I literally almost pulled the trigger. It was between that and an Olympic Arms M16 for 14 grand, and I didn't do it. And obviously, right now, probably 10 years later, they're all 25K or more. So that's a regret purchase, but that's a regret that I have of not making the purchase. I would say if I could, I'd say pistol, a Beretta 93R, long gun. I mean, the kid inside of me wants to say like a Modus, or like an M60 or a 249, which I would take a 240 over all of those that I listed. But honestly, give me a pre-86 registered lower, and I'm good.
Why didn't you just get a registered auto sear? You can just drop it into any
Yeah, that's true. I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do
mine would be a Stinger.
which one's a Stinger?
Oh, it's a very interesting gun from World War II.
Oh, the 4-barrel, or no?
No, it's like a Browning automatic rifle mounted with a M2 mounted with a like a stock. So yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So hold on. A 50 BMG M2 with a BAR.
Yeah, and I'll show. Let me bring up a picture.
Yeah, I definitely have to see this. One of John's dream guns is coming his way shortly.
That's what he's talking about.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Let me just bring this up here.
FG42.
Yeah, we can go shoot it. You can make a video or something.
Oh, that's like a 1919.
It's very cool.
Oh no, that is an M2. That's a 50 BMG.
Yeah, it's the M2. Basically, what happened was in Iwo Jima they couldn't carry it around because of how much it weighed.
Yeah.
So it was or not M2. It was 1919. You're right. So it's 1919 M1 and BAR.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. So it's a 30 cal.
Yeah.
Throwing 30-06 out of that. That is a 30-06, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just looking at. I was watching Fury the other day and just seeing the small gun on the cannon run, like just knowing that's 30-06, just plowing. Like, God, man, those things are fierce.
Yeah. It's a really, really cool gun.
So you're going to be able to shoot one of those?
I'm going to get one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting a semi-auto, or are you getting like
I don't know. I gotta talk to Swamp Dog about that.
Yeah, I'll let you guys work out those details.
Yeah.
I do, just to throw this out there, I do still carry a G number. So if you're looking for any agents to throw on the books to help with any of your 07 work, you let me know. Is he local?
No.
Oh, okay. The offer still stands.
No, he's in Louisiana.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's why it's Swamp Dog Armory.
Of course. I should have known.
Yeah, from Louisiana. All right, man. Well, we've been on for over an hour. I gotta get up early tomorrow because I gotta write about this leak, I guess. Or Mississippi. Sorry. Louisiana, Mississippi, same thing.
Okay, can you give me anything on the FBI leak?
Well, I did. I put up a teaser on John Crump News.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you right now. Basically, there is a document that law enforcement can fill out right now. It's basically like a red flag. So let's say law enforcement believes that you should be a prohibited person, but you have not committed any crimes to be a prohibited person or anything else like that. Mm-hmm. They can write into the FBI and say, hey, Dark should be on the list because he's mentally unstable because his name's Dark, or I believe that he is an unlawful user of drugs. It goes deeper into it, but it's basically that. So basically, they could red flag you. That they don't call it a red flag, but there's no red flag law. They just do it through changing the rules.
So is it through NICS?
Yeah, they write into NICS, and the FBI puts you on the NICS indices as a prohibited person. So you never know.
Dude, that's crazy.
So, Peter North. Interesting. Peter North, old adult film star. Interesting.
Yeah, I remember the name. There's no way that that's actually Peter North.
I'm not really into it, but
if
maybe
you're actually Peter North, please come to my channel, Dark Light Dugan. We would love to have you on to discuss some of your old work. All right.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. If any of you guys are interested in learning more about self-sufficiency and just taking control of your own life your water, your
Yeah.
food, shelter, security, come check out our channel at Dark Light Dugan.
Yeah, let me get back to telling you about before we get off. Basically, here's the thing. They are basically red flagging people. You get put on the NICS indices. You don't know you're on the NICS indices because they don't inform you that you've been put on the NICS indices as a prohibited person until you go to buy a gun, and then you're rejected, and then you have to appeal. Your denial to NICS to get off of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What about all the firearms that, let's say that you currently own firearms?
They won't take away any of your firearms. It just they won't let you buy any new firearms.
That's crazy. You think, is it a legitimate leak?
Yeah, it's 100% legit.
Wow.
I actually have the papers. It's a big document, so I'm still reading through other stuff, right? And I'm going to find everything else in there and go from there, and then also release the whole document unredacted so everyone can read everything in there. You know what they did with my last leak, right? They gave me the leak and they redacted like a bunch of different things.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, they redacted like whole entire pages. And and what I did was I got it from another source and found out what they were trying to redact was like really they try to redact the stuff that shows that they were sharing information from NICS, like personal information from NICS on people to Interpol.
Ooh.
Like for example, right, Amanda Knox, she won her case over in Italy, but the Italians didn't like it, so what they did was said, okay, we're going to retry her. And she was like, I'm not going back. You're not going to retry me again. I already got off, right?
Yeah.
So she went back. So they retried her in absentia, meaning she's not there, and convicted her. So she's on what's called the FFF, the foreign fugitive file. So if she goes and buys a gun, she can still buy a gun. They will transfer it, but it will notify the ATF that there's a hit from the FFF. Not the ATF, and FBI. The FBI would then call the local FFL, get all her information, and then call Interpol because she have a warrant out, and then pass on her address, all her personal contact information, everything to Interpol.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's what they try to censor it, but
man, and that's what they try to redact.
Yeah, that's what they try to redact, and I guess they didn't think that I would be able to get it any other way. What they didn't know is I already had it.
Wow.
A lot of times I have FOIA stuff that I already have.
Yeah. That's actually a good idea. I mean, that's a story within a story right there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's very interesting.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, that's how I got that. But thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, and yeah, check out our channel, guys.
Yeah, I got to get on your show, man.
Dude, let's do it. We do it late, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Truthfully, it's just because we all got to put our kids down before we get on.
Yeah, that's why I do this at like 10 if I don't do it at 5.
Yeah. But dude, I'd love to have you on. You want to set up a time for next week?
Let me talk to you offline. Probably let me see what I can do.
Okay.
Because I gotta look at a couple things because I have a couple GOA appearances
Okay.
that I have to do, but next week should work sometime.
Okay. Yeah. Anywhere the next week or two. 2EDU. I know you emailed me, and thank you, and I will get back to you as well. So
Yeah,
thank you all.
he emailed me, man, and he's just like, "Hey, are you going to? I hear you're going to IV 8888, and I saw Jordan on your channel. He's going too. I can't wait to meet him there." I'm like, all right.
Dude,
Basically saying, "Hey, can you introduce me to Jordan from JST?" You're right back. Like 2 seconds later, I was like, "I want to meet you too," but
yeah.
just give him a hard time.
Yeah, dude. I could not even imagine, like, going somewhere like, just, these are all people I've been watching for years and years. So one day.
Yeah,
All
sure,
right, dude.
sure.
Thank you
It's
so
gonna
much,
come up.
man. I
All right,
appreciate
man.
you being on.
All right.
All
Hi,
right, yeah.
everyone out there. But let me hold on. I'm gonna give you the final word.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow. Another late show tomorrow, which is crazy because I never do late shows. But I have another late show tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Then remember the 200th episode special. Thank you so much to my Patreons for supporting me and letting me do this work. I'm gonna kick it over to Dark for the final word. Go for it.
The final word.
You can say anything you want. You can plug anything. You can read. I don't know, Edgar Allan Poe. You can
Here's
tell
what I'll
people.
say. If you're interested, if you believe that you are free, then you are being tricked. Come over to our channel at Dark Light Dugan to learn more about being free, and remember to be safe and be very dangerous.
There you go, people.